What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Kizer Huntsman. Let's get into it. All right, so what we're going to do today with the Kizer Huntsman is we're going to do some size comparison, profile comparisons, check the weight of the knife out, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions. Let's kick it off with the Spyderco Para 3. As you can see here against the Para 3, this is definitely a full-size knife. We'll bring out the Spyderco Shaman, which I think is going to be another good comparison. Very comparable in size. I'd even say the Huntsman is just a little bit bigger. All right, let's move the Para out of the way. Let's go ahead and bring out the Devo Knives Growler. Again, Growler's more of a medium-sized EDC. You can tell by that comparison as well. This is definitely 100% full-size knife, and here it is against the Civivi Vision FG. Definitely bigger than everything that we've thrown out on the table. Let's check out the profile. I like to do that so you can see what's it going to feel like in hand, how's it going to carry in pocket, all of that good stuff. So you can see here it is just a tiny bit thicker than the Vision FG, and then we'll line it up against the Spyderco Shaman. You can see with those contoured scales, just a little bit more thickness. What about the weight? How's this going to, again, feel in hand? How's it going to carry in the pocket? I'd say like 4.5 to 5, somewhere in there. Wow, 5.3. So actually heavier than I thought. I thought it was going to just squeak in under 5, but it's actually 5.3 ounces. So there's all your specs. Overall length is like 8.75 inches. It does have a 4-inch blade, so it is a very long knife, 100%. Let's go ahead and jump into my thoughts and impressions. Now, I did watch Kevin's review of this, and I do want to give a shout out to Lefty EDC because he is allowing this to go through the pass around group so that everybody can take a look at the Huntsman. He indicated that this is very Evo-esque. And I want to really quickly bring out another model, just really quick, that a lot of people are like, oh, that looks totally like the Evo. Here is the Kung Wu Padre. Now, I don't think the Padre looks that much like the Evo, especially when you take into consideration Kevin is on record saying that this very much resembles the Evo handle, how it's built, the backspacer, everything of that nature. So hopefully for anyone out there that is like the Padre is an Evo clone, you can kind of see why, or you should be able to see why. I don't agree. I don't think this reminds me at all of the Evo. You might say the blade shape, but even when you look closely at the blade shape, there may be some homage paid to the blade shape, but I really just don't think so. But anyway, we're going to get that out of here. Let's keep going with the Huntsman. Ergonomically, it is comfortable in the regards that it doesn't have any hot spots. The pocket clip lays flat, nice and comfortable in hand. It gives you good positioning for using that cutting grip. For me personally, I just don't like the extra thickness back here. I don't like when a knife is way skinnier, like dramatically skinnier up front than it is out in the back. I would prefer the other way around. I'd prefer it to skinny out in the back and be thicker up front, because these fingers normally on most people are going to be a little bit thicker, so that for me lends to a more confident, more secure grip, because I have the same amount of finger on the knife. Up here I really don't have that. It's just very uncomfortable. I don't have as much finger on either side gripping. On here I have way more finger gripping, wrapping around the knife. So just for me personally, I don't prefer that grip, but it is comfortable, so I don't want to confuse there. It is very comfortable. The pocket clip works good. I wasn't sure because it looked like it was a little tight in there, but it goes all the way deep into the pocket, no issues, and it has really good retention on here. It's a very stout pocket clip, and they did a nice job with the nose there, cutting that out so that it goes in and out of the pocket. Lock bar access is really good. I keep forgetting when I first pick it up, I want to do it here. And what ends up happening is kind of pinching me a little bit because I have fat thumbs or big thumbs. So I don't really like that. I prefer actually to come down here, let it fall, and the lock bar has enough pressure to where I can kind of judge it, stop it, and keep it from letting the blade hit my thumbnail so that it's not cutting me. But honestly, the best place to put it is right here. Move the thumb out of the way and let it drop. It's just for me, again, with the bigger finger, it's kind of pinching me in here between the lock bar and the blade when it drops, but it's not like a sharp pinch. I just kind of feel it pinching there, but really that is the safest way to drop it to make sure that it doesn't hit you. You have to be really careful. You got to like kind of snap it out and then let it close quickly to catch it, and then normally you can just let it drop from there. The action is phenomenal. The fuller and thumb studs feel really crispy on the action. I really like the action on this one. It's very well balanced. Kizer, once again, having phenomenal actions on their knives. It is nice and centered. Lockup is coming in at 40% on the lock bar. Again, the access works. It doesn't look like it would work, but there's actually like enough room for me to grab that lock bar. It is slightly chamfered here. I think that kind of helps to let you get in there, but it works really well. I was expecting it to be really tight. It looks tight. It looks tight to me, but no issues whatsoever. I can lift up, I can slide it over, I can do whatever. I like these thumb studs. They're very much remind me of like Benchmade bug out studs. They're just very standard studs, but their height is good. You got good access to them. Very satisfying to flick. This blade shape's not really for me. I think it's just not for me. I don't know how else I can put that. It's slicey. It's very thin behind the edge, but with an edge like this, I have found when you have recurves, they're good for trapping to cut large material. But for me, they kind of, you see what they do there towards the end. Like when you get past that mid part, they're not just meant to be slicey. You got to kind of stay back in the back part of the cut. And even then, you see how it's kind of rounding the edge. I don't think too many people have had this. I just don't like recurves for a slicey effect. But when you're cutting something majorly thick, or, I wouldn't say majorly, when you're cutting something a little bit thicker, they do kind of bring the material in. And usually these edges have enough bite to them to where they're going to kind of chew through the material as opposed to slicing through them. It is a cool looking knife. I do appreciate the design of it, and I think that it's very unique. I like everything about the design as far as a unique perspective, but for me in actual practice, I'm not a big fan of the handle. It's a little too thick in the back. I hate recurves. For how I use my knives, they're not the best option for me. But very cool styling. Very, very cool. What do you think about the Huntsman? Let me know down in the comments below. The price on this is sub $200. You're getting titanium weave carbon fiber S35VN, which is a great blade steel. It is definitely going to hold an edge a very long time. It is going to be a little bit more of a challenge to resharpen, or sharpen, I should say, your curved edges. I recommend checking out videos for that if this is a knife that you're going to use and you're going to have to sharpen and keep the maintenance of the edge up. S35VN has very good edge retention. Not quite as good as S30VN, but better than S45VN. It is very tough. That's kind of where it balances between those two steels, so I do like it. And I think for, what was it? Blade HQ, yeah, $189. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? James Lowe is the designer of this particular knife. I did forget to mention that a little bit earlier. But for under $200, it is definitely bringing a lot to the table. Titanium backspacer. I believe the hardware is steel. Oops, as I picked up this that back down here. Yeah, steel hardware all throughout. Not the best magnet in there, but I'm definitely, like when I go here, I kind of lose it, but here it kind of suctions to it a little bit. but definitely steel hardware. And that's a way that like Migron and Kizer and any brand that can offer like very budget oriented titanium that's going to perform well, is they're going to have steel here. I think Kunwu, I said Kunwu, sorry. No. Yeah, Kunwu I think also does it. Steel hardware, I think, on their titanium knives, I think. But that's a great way to make this affordable. I really like this opening hole. I like that they did the little ladder effects on it. It kind of adds a little bit of grip when you get your finger in there. Kind of, instead of it just being on the nick here, it really does kind of give you a little bit of extra substance to grab onto, almost like a combination hole and fuller. So that's really cool. I definitely am interested in hearing what you guys think down in the comments below. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, comments, is subscribed, watches the videos, uses the links. I appreciate all the support. I love you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.